And the interesting thing is, I think they're all great running backs, but they're all a little bit different. And I think sometimes what all of you don't understand is that not everybody plays the same way against the totally different teams. So just because, you know, Jermaine is having 3 great games in a row, we might be at North Dakota State, and for whatever reason, his style, based on the defense they're throwing at us, or he might be a little bit off in having the flu or whatever. I mean, having the depth at running back allows you to, in my opinion, to be able to roll with the punches a little bit with injuries, roll with the punches a little bit with the type of defenses they throw at you. And at the end of the day, be sure that if we have a 10-point lead, you know, knock on wood without injuries, I mean, the key is, can our offensive line with 2 tight ends plus 1 tight end in the backfield march down the field 3 yards in the cloud of dust and run the clock out? And I think with the, you know, the 2 times last year we had to do it, we didn't. I think this year we could do it. And, you know, maybe speak a little bit about, from a running back standpoint, how it isn't just 4 deep. It's 4 different guys and different teams, and what that depth gives you both there and on offensive line this year to allow you to succeed.
We kind of like to play the guys that have the hot hand, you know, and that's kind of the way it's always been. Usually we pull Cookie out and, you know, critique him a little bit and get on him. Then he comes back and has a second, a breath of fresh air, and he comes back and sees things really well. Once you pull him out one time and then you put him back in, he's like a new guy. I don't know if he gets so amped up or what, but you know, and then Jordan Thompson's a little bit more of like a glider type guy, but he is strong, he is powerful when he gets his pads down. And Bellamy's a guy who can make you miss. You just constantly have to emphasize ball security and take care of the football. But we are fortunate there, and hopefully we'll be in a position where we can run a bunch of 4-minute offense here in the future.
Ask Coach one more question, then we'll take your questions. And I think one thing about, you know, when you look at the big picture, this team's built for long-term success. Obviously, we want to see 7, 8, 9 wins this season and get in the playoffs. But when you look, this team's going to have, I think, tremendous success. We saw backup linemen, just looking at the guys that played last week. You know, we mentioned Elkins and Pratt and Mady up front, but our backup lineman, Brandon Ferguson, 6'8", 300 pounds from West Branch. Zach Conlon, 6 feet, 310 pounds, out of Liberty, played over at Ursuline. Eric Franklin, 6'7", 340, redshirt freshman from Cardinal Mooney. Our running backs, Thompson sophomore, Bellamy sophomore, Pace sophomore, Cook Jr. Coach, you're stocked, and you're getting depth, and you're getting young guys playing time. So I think for a long time to come, I mean, those backup offensive linemen, they were scary last week, how big they are and how good they can be. Would you agree?
We need some more. I'm always thinking about the future. You know, we talked about today in a staff meeting, and we said all these guys we got that are playing right now for us are juniors. So in 2 years, we don't want to lose a step. Mm-hmm. You want to continue to raise your level and recruit better players than you did last year. So I was getting on some guys today about making sure we got enough good guys coming down the pipeline there. But the youth in the program does look good, and you can't ever kid yourself as a coach. Don't ever screw it up. Meaning, you know, Bill Belichick used to coach Cleveland Browns, and he's a dang good football coach and considered one of the best guys in the NFL right now. And you better have players. At the end of the day, you better have guys who can play. You can put Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, whoever you want in a Daytona 500 driving a below-average car. They're not going to win. I mean, you got to be in the game. You got to at least have some talent, and then it gets down to strategy and coaching. But you got to at least be in the game. And we got a great facility here. We've got great community. You know, we bring our kids to the Lake Club one of our nights for Saturday night, and this is the icing on the cake when we talk about getting deals done. And we don't bring too many kids here on official visits that don't make the decision to come here because we have a great community. It's not hard to see. This is an awesome community, a great place to be. Yes, we may not have as much sunshine as some other places, but I guarantee you that people make up for it.
Anybody have any questions out there? We can get right here.
Nothing serious than we had last week. Pat White will still be out. Only thing that's new there, we will have Kevin Watts back, who was in the Michigan State game, came in and cracked a linebacker there. So we're kind of excited about having him back. He's a sophomore slot receiver that will help us out, gives us a good blocking presence, and can make some big plays.
I know we got one right over here.
Coach, with Cliff being on the watch list for the trophy league,
Peyton Award, right?
do you ever think about that when he's in there with the number of reps that he gets? Obviously, you throw everybody in there, but does it ever come into your mind?
No, because last week if we were worried about him winning an award, we would have left him in there. And individual awards aren't going to win you a championship. Only awards and accolades and statistics we're worried about is the one at the end of the year, and that's where that number one goes. And that's the way this team thinks. I've sat down and had a talk with Cook long before this season even got started, and I just talked to him about the way we're going to play as a team. He's a guy that understands team first, and that's the way we're going to continue to be. And if that ever changes, then we'll be playing another running back. I can assure you that. This is a team first type attitude, and that's the way it'll always be.
That's a good question. Had you kept Cook in there, he would have rushed for as many yards as Tom Brady threw for him Monday night.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been over. But that's a great
but
point.
understand, too, that the more you win as a team,
That's right.
the more people will look at a Cook and give him the kudos that he deserves. I mean, if you're 1-10 and you have 300 yards a game, I don't think you have the same oomph as if you're on TV playing for the championship with a guy that has 125 yards a game. So the team standpoint, when those awards are looked at, there aren't many All-Americans from Appalachian State, Michigan, Notre Dame. A lot of the teams that play and that are up there as a team have more views. So the whole team thing kind of works to his benefit as well. If we're undefeated in league play and are deep in the playoffs.
That's a good point. Most individual awards go to teams that win. And look at the Heisman Trophy. It's coming from the schools that win. Same here. And Cook and all the other guys will get their accolades if Youngstown State wins football games.
Coach, this question I have is not necessarily directly to the football team, but when you go to the games, you just see such a marginal turnout of students. Is there any energy being put into that to try and get more people to show up?
Well, we've talked about it. I went over and spoke at orientation there in the beginning of the year and talked about them coming out. We've also talked to some fraternities and sororities. And there's so many rules nowadays of what you can and cannot do. At some of the smaller schools I was at years ago, we'd buy them cakes, but you got to be 21. So I mean, it's a delicate situation as far as how much you want to be involved, but it's something that you want to continue to do. And I always get back to this: is winning will bring them out. We had a decent student turnout last week, and I've actually talked about sending that group over there some Bellaria pizzas. Frank said he's going to help me out. So, but that would be a nice gesture on our part, and just to try to continue to get those people to come since you can't buy them beer. But you know how these college students are motivated. You were one once, but that's something that's been brought up. But I think winning will be a big part of that too.
Tony, you have a question back here.
I was not, Mr. Larisha. He's very fast, and he's got tremendous speed. We saw it in the spring game. He's a guy that played receiver last year, and it just didn't work out. And I talked to some other people that recruited him out of high school, and they actually like him as a defensive back, so he's probably in the right position. Josh Lee's a kid that got a lot of votes as a captain. He wasn't named captain, but he did get a lot of votes, and he's really turned the corner as far as having the leadership skills that we need, especially there in a young secondary.
I want to mention as well, I just got this from Trevor Parks, our sports information director, who does a good job of updating us throughout the week. And then game day, 17,000 plus tickets are out for Saturday. And that's great. So there'll be obviously a lot of buzz. And that's a tribute to a lot of people in this room, because many of you spread the word about YSU football. You bring your friends, you bring your family, and we need you there. And hopefully it will be that huge home field atmosphere that can make a difference in the game. And I think it'll get it back the way it once was. I can tell you that I heard a lot of buzz this week, people getting excited about this game and looking forward to it. We have another question over here. Do you have another one? And then we'll go back here to Doc Mincy.
Yeah. Coach, with two young linebackers and two young cornerbacks and two young safeties, so to speak, group of young people?
I think they're getting a lot more comfortable, and this is the first week that I've noticed it, as far as them feeling somewhat more comfortable. And, I've seen a lot more guys in watching film than I ever have. And young people today, you have to kind of lead them to water a little bit. And, I try to explain to them during the course of the week is the more you watch your opponent, the more you'll become familiar with them, and the more the game will slow down for you, the more you see it over and over and over again. I can't tell you how many times in my career where I've been coaching other places that, we would sit down and watch Florida defense when they were obviously on their run when Coach Meyer was there. And on Sunday night, my wife would tell you, I'd be scared to death. I'd be like, these guys are going to destroy us. But as the course of the week went on, because I spent so much time watching film, and we would get together as staff and get a game plan together, you would develop confidence. It's no difference as a player. As you continue to watch film and see that, you develop confidence. The better you have an understanding of what we're trying to do defensively, it will enable you to play faster, and I think that's one thing we don't lack on defense right now is speed.
Doc Mincy over here.
We're getting closer.
How many timeouts did we have left?
That's right.
Just look at the end of the half of the
Yeah.
game, and that's all that we lined up.
Yeah, it's a thing where we're getting better, and offenses are trying to create as much confusion as they can. They don't come out and line up in the same thing over and over again. They're trying to create confusion, and that's something we got to adjust to. We've simplified some things. We're not as multiple as we used to be, but we're playing a lot more of a sound style defense, and I think we got a chance to, if we continue to progress, to go out and play well.
Anybody else have a question tonight? A lot of good questions. We appreciate your feedback, and hopefully you'll continue to come on Thursday nights and be part of it. One guy we really didn't talk a lot about, and we'll wrap up, Kurt Hess was 12 of 13 and continues to be impressive. Now, we've had many very good quarterbacks here, long before my time, Ron Jaworski, Cliff Stout, and then in the championship years, Ray Isaac, Nick Cochran, Mark Brungard, DeMont Tidwell, Jeff Ryan, and Tom Zetz. By the time it's all said and done, I know we're playing a different offense than what we played in the 90s. I get it that we're more wide open. He could be the best we've had here, Coach. Are you pleased with how he continues to get better and better?
He's a great leader. He's very mature. He doesn't get rattled. Even last year, he doesn't get rattled too much. And I think that's a compliment to Shane Montgomery and how he's tutored him. We put Kurt in a lot of situations that he should have success, but we've also opened it up now where he's got to make some more decisions, and he's taking responsibility. I mean, he's our captain, and he's going to lead us, and we expect big things from him. He's not a freshman no more.
And anything else now? We're going to do the raffles. We do have a couple Loads tickets and a parking pass. We're going to give away these little footballs, and we'll wrap it up with the signed football by Coach Ed. I don't know if you want to jump in.
The biggest thing I'd like all of you to watch, because I think this is, and he doesn't talk that much, personnel sometimes you kind of take for granted. But the biggest step forward that YSU has made from 2010 and 11 should be very evident on Saturday, and that is the athleticism of the 11 guys and the depth on defense. And you're going to see that because last year you probably in this Illinois State game had 15 plays of 15 yards or greater. And those were the quarterback running. Those were, not closing on a 5-yard out pattern that turned into 20 yards. I mean, we watched a little bit of everything. And I think the biggest movement to watch is the athleticism of the Davion Rogers, our defensive line, and things that something that last year would have been 15 yards, you'll see us close with our speed and athleticism. It's really something to watch defensively, and it's, you don't see it in statistics because they're not all sacks and they're not all interceptions. But, if you could take that cumulative effect and take those big plays out, how many last year we had, who knows how many 15-yard plays and beyond that we gave up defensively. Just something to watch, Bob. From a fan's point of view, I know I'm looking forward to it because you swung a heavy stick. Last week you kind of swung no stick. This week is the first week that you're really up against somebody that shows what kind of strides our defense has made. So as a fan out there loving YSU, just watch that, and it's really going to have a lot to say with how deep we go this year.
I think this week you'll see more of a pro-type quarterback in Brown, but to follow up on Edsel, when we play a team like Northern Iowa down the road, Terrell Rennie, those of you that were at the game last year, he killed us. He would break down the defense and maybe run for 20, 25, 15. This year, I think when we get in that situation with a quarterback who has speed, he'll make plays, but he's not going to make those kind of plays where he rushes for that kind of yardage. Obviously, we need you all out there. We'll see you at the tailgate lot. Kickoff 4 o'clock. Ed, we're looking forward to our tailgate show. Begins 3 o'clock pregame. ASECU pregame on the radio, 570 WKBN, and kick it off at 4 o'clock. We get a lot of people that do come out that listen. That's a little scary because they can find all our mistakes if they're actually at the game. But we hope people do listen at the game. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and it's Wolf, coming on board as all of you did from the first time in his press conference. He came into this program and said he was going to do it his way, and it took a year and a half to get, for the most part, the players lined up. He has great coaches, and I'm excited because I know you're not exactly where you want to be, but I truly think, knock on wood, that we should contend deep into this season. And it's an exciting time when you're going into those games with confidence, as opposed to last year you had some question marks. I can't wait. From my standpoint, and I hear the buzz in Youngstown. We talked a little bit about getting crowds at games. Just watch what's going to happen, and that hopefully this year we're going to get on a roll and stay on a roll.
Coach, any final thoughts before we wrap up here tonight?
Nope. 3rd down, we need you out there yelling, and it's our team. It's our time. The future looks bright, I can assure you that.
And I just want to wrap again. We sincerely appreciate all of you and being here tonight. We hope you'll be here every Thursday. We'll be back again next week to talk about the win over Illinois State. Look ahead to Indiana State. Enjoy your dinners, everybody, and we'll be around for a while. And thanks for coming out to the Lake Club. We appreciate it.